hold on a minute. This isn't my account. I mentioned that that was a possibility. This is Frank's account. I've talked about Frank before. Frank's been on the show, different episodes. I don't remember exactly what. 169. Frank was on episode 169. I don't remember what it was called, but Frank and a few other people, I think. Frank and Mike, was it? Yeah. Maybe a few more times. But Frank's in the chat, and he approaches me and asks if I will do this thing for him. If I will grind things, and I'm like, okay, if you got fun teams, then sure. And they're all right. I don't care. I mostly did it because I like doing the streams, you know. I'm not gonna do it for everybody, but it's also fun to look at his alliance and peek at what they're all saying. I won't do that here. I did it in the stream though. So don't tell him. But yeah, I did all that. His teams are all right. Some of them are pretty shitty. They're very unreliable in a lot of ways. So it's pretty funny when we're doing the stream. But I like doing the stream, so I agreed to do it, and that was today for about 2 hours or so. And could have gone longer, but you know, doesn't really matter that much. It's just, you know, when he's going to sleep, he says that I should do it, and then I start doing it, and then all goes well. Santa Claus, yay! But no, I do enjoy doing the streams, so I agreed to do that. We're about to get destroyed. That's just straight up to Samika in the middle there, and we're gonna fight it with Samika's. Yay! I wonder if anybody will know where that sound came from that I did much earlier. Not that last thing there. I don't know if I want to replicate it, because then maybe it'll become more obvious. As soon as you know that it's a sound from something. I mean, it's not from anything massively significant, but it's a thing, I guess. It's somewhat related. I don't know. So, on the second channel, news on that one, somebody asked me today, somebody messaged me. Somebody, really old fan, by the way, really old fan. Doesn't watch the videos very often, but was there like at the start, which is cool as shit. And they have me on Kick, and they messaged me asking if I would ever do an Earthbound playthrough. And you know, it could be fun. I would most definitely need a walkthrough, but I think it could be fun. It would be on the second channel as well. But you know, if that sounds like a thing that's fun for you guys, then maybe tell me I need to do an Earthbound playthrough, because that could be fun. God damn it, no. I'm just like randomly checking the chat because I wanted to, but no, there's not. I shouldn't do that. Yep. Earthbound, and eventually Trails in the Sky. I don't know if I mentioned that at all yet, but I'm gonna play it because a bunch of the people are way into the Trails series, and Felon said it was the game to play, and I was just like, screw it, I'll play it. A lot of people I know, they've made their own little group. Well, 2 people I like, and then one of them's Dave, and then Dave's friends like it. 3 people I like it. I don't care very much for a lot of Dave's friends. But they've become their own little group, and they put me in it. I don't pay attention to it. They, the chat that they've created specifically for this thing, just because they ended up talking about it so goddamn much that they were like, okay, let's make our own chat for it. And they put me in it because eventually I will be, you know, doing a series on it. So that'll be where I go to ask questions and things, because without a doubt I will have questions. But yeah, I haven't really been doing any of that, so I know very little about the game. But I'm going to play it. Yep, and apparently it's good, I hear. I don't know exactly when I'll play it, because there are still a few videos that haven't been released yet in terms of videos for the second channel. But you know, that'll happen eventually. I think there should be a few. I don't know if he's doing that daily still. He might be forgetting every now and then. But there is a second channel if you weren't aware, and that second channel exists purely for gameplay that isn't mobile games. Speaking of mobile games, however, there is one game in particular that I should be doing a video on soon. Probably. It's not a guarantee, so I actually won't say anything about it, even though I just said some things about it. Oops. Shit. That one died over there. Shit. Whatever. Hey, I got my cursor back on. It must have happened a few days ago. I think I remember when it happened too. So, yep. I'm a little tired today, because, well, I did do the stream. I didn't sleep very much, because I stayed up playing Bayonetta, I think. Did I? What did I do last night? I think yesterday yesterday I didn't play at all, did I? Maybe I played afterward. I did play quite a bit today, though. So I talked about this in my stream, so if you heard this, then I'm sorry, I'm going to repeat most of it. But, you know, I've been tackling hard mode. Which is a lot of fun, but it's very hard. So, you know, I perused the internet and I found some fun little exploits and glitches and things that make the game so much easier. So they're like, when approached with an enemy, they're in hard mode. In normal mode, I just took things normally and I was able to tackle it without doing anything ridiculous. In hard mode, I take it one of three ways. Most of the time, I just attack it, and I wait for it to attack me. I wait for it to attack me so that I can evade out of it and do a witch time, which slows down time and gives me perfect time to activate a combo. But the combo itself is significant because it's not a combo that I would have done if I had not known that this was a thing that I can do. So there's this weird exploit thing you can do where if you change weapons mid-combo, if you start a combo that starts out with the slashing of the sword and then ends with the kicking, you know? You have your sword on your hands and Durga, which are these lightning or fire claws. You'll start kicking with the claws. So fucking right. It's a really specific combo. It's punch, kick, or punch, pause, kick. Then you'll just start kicking, and if you spam the button, you'll kick a whole lot. So you can kick with those Durga. And if you do it with Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore, who is it's the name of the weapon that's literally a missile launcher. You'll kick a whole bunch and you fire off like 4 or so missiles, and that in and of itself is a very powerful combo because you're loading off a bunch of missiles, and usually just one attack with Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore will deal, you know, send out like 1 missile if you hold it in. But if you have Durga on your feet and you switch weapons, like just after the combo with the kicking starts, if you switch to Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore, if you have that on your feet on your second weapon set, it doesn't even matter what's in your hands. Except I don't think it can be Durga. It doesn't matter what's in your hands. And if you switch over, you'll continue kicking, but you'll fire off way more missiles than the game ever really wanted you to. So the power behind Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore is that it's slow, but it's strong. And what this thing does is it fires off dozens of missiles and kicks a whole bunch still. So what you're doing is you're doing the strong but also ridiculously fast of the Lightning Durga. So it just absolutely demolishes everything. It's just like a damage count that just should never have happened and would never have happened because it's not a combo that's supposed to happen, but for some reason it can. And that will absolutely destroy shit. Is this one this one's stronger than the other one? Okay, that's interesting to know. This one's Yeah, they're probably both max. So that absolutely destroys things. That's one of the things that I'll do. Another thing that I'll do is I will turn on the immortal what is it? Immortal testimony or something like that. It's an item. It's an accessory that allows you to press an attack button rapidly. I talked about this before. So if you spam the attack button, the action that it will do is the action that is best for you. So if you're being attacked and you hit the button, you will dodge. Even if you're hitting an attack button, you're dodging. And it'll be a punch, it'll be kick. You just have to spam attack and you win. That's all it is to it. So if I want to make it easy, then I'll do that. But if I want to make it ridiculously easy, I'll do a different exploit that's kind of crazy, and it's called LFG. No, LFG? IFG. Sorry, IFG, not LFG. I was thinking Lieutenant still. LFG, and now IFG. God fucking damn it, IFG. It's like ISG. I don't know why I can't remember this. ISG Infinite Sword Glitch, IFG Infinite Flute Glitch. So there's an item in game called the Magic Flute or some shit like that. It's the flute. What it does is when you use it, you just send out a giant burst of shit that's, you play a flute and you hurt a lot of the enemies in a very, very large radius. But for some reason that I could never explain to you, if you put the item on your left D-pad button and you don't use it from there, because you can have items on these three hotkeys, your left, right, and your top D-pad button. You can put an item there and you can use it mid-game. If you put the flute there specifically, and you go into the home menu, or not the home menu, and you go just into the pause menu, where you would use items and change items, and you use the flute from the pause menu, you use the flute, you deal damage, but you don't lose the flute. The flute stays. If you have more than one flute, you will always have that amount of flute forever if you do it this way. So you can absolutely demolish everything with no repercussions. Absolutely none. Most of the time, it's like you'll lose points when you use an item, but this item doesn't count for that. So there's a healing item, an item that gives you a shield, and an item that gives you magic, and an item that boosts your attack. They're all lollipops. If you use those, at the end of the chapter, it'll say, oh, game data has been updated. Huh. It's 10. At the end of the chapter, it'll say, hey, you used some items, your score is going down. It'll tell you all the items that you used, and your score will decrease. It's literally the same as a death. It counts as a death. Well, it counts as like a percentage of a death. I think like 2 items is like half a death or something. Every time you die, your chances of getting a better award go down. But when you use this item, it doesn't count that at all. You can just use those for the whole thing. So there's 2 different types of speed runs. Is the IFG and the no IFG. And I actually watched an IFG speedrun just to get a glimpse at some of the some of the methods and things like that. And there's actually I found out, I haven't figured it out completely yet, but one of the chapters that I really don't like. So there's 2 chapters that I don't like. There's one that's a motorcycle section and one that's a flying section. New Year's summon. Oh shit. I'll fucking worry about that later, I guess. Well, I guess we can look at it now. We won't summon now because this isn't my account. But let's just all allies attack. Wow. New Year's summon's usually pretty good. But yeah, so what was I talking about? What was I talking about? Right, 2 types of speedruns. Yeah. I just wanted to know Oh, right. I wanted to know how all the shit worked, and I found out that there's a way to skip one of the chapters. So there's 2 chapters, a motorcycle chapter and like a flying thing where you're on a missile and you have to shoot a bunch of shit. And I hate it because it's not the same game. I really like the game, but then they just like take me away from the game and don't let me do any of the things that I was originally doing and just say, hey, now you're gonna be on a motorcycle, and it just lasts way too long. But there's this weird glitch, and I don't know completely how it works, but you can force her to turn around right at the start, and if she drives backwards and cuts and like goes through, like she drives backwards for enough time, she can turn around again, go through the loading zone that starts the ending of the mission, and the mission is completely skipped. Apparently, and you know, I think I may have talked about this before, because I feel like I talked about it with somebody. Because it bothers the hell out of me. Well, not bothers, what am I saying? I just don't like that mission. So it's completely skipped, but it can mess up your save files as well, which is bad. But whatever. So I didn't really do anything with that. I'm not planning on speedrunning the game, so I don't really care. I just don't like that mission. You only have to do it once to count it as done. I want to do all of the chapters on hard, and then all of the chapters on the even harder difficulty, which still will be easy because I have those 3 methods of absolutely destroying everything. God damn it, I fucked up. I need to change that specific team, because the attacker is not in the center and it bothers me. But yeah, so those 3 methods make the game very easy for me. At least they make the hard mode easier. Normal mode, I played normally. I think it would be crazy boring, and I don't just kill everything as soon as I can. If I'm having a lot of problems with this particular enemy, I will just use the flute and kill it. Most of the time, I try to actually fight it so that I'm having fun with the game. But other times, it's just like, no thank you. You know, like, what are they called? There's these boat things that fucking suck. I just kill them with the flute. I hate him. And also there's the Grace and Glory. It's weird. I think there's a version of Grace and Glory that cannot be. Grace and Glory, by the way, are 2 of the fastest enemies in the whole game, and they're a pair. There's a lightning one and a fire one, and those are where you get your Durga weapons from. Grace and Glory, and then there's Gracious and Glorious, which are the evolved, like, higher, more powerful forms. And I'm pretty sure, like, for some reason, it feels like there's a version that you cannot get witch time off of, which completely kills my ability to fight it with just fighting it, you know? Because when I'm just using the missile trick, I'm still fighting them. I still have to fight them. I still have to dodge on my own. I still have to activate witch time. I still have to pay attention to everything. I'm just using a specific combo that deals a lot more damage than originally intended. I'm not just, you know, cheating my way to killing everything with a weird item thing. But I don't think you can get witch time off of them, which means that just kind of doesn't work as easily, especially if I have them in Berserk mode, which I do because I get more combo points, and more combo points means more halos, which I decided what I would do in terms of that. And I do realize that I'm just talking a lot about Bayonetta, but it just is the thing that's on my mind, and I apologize, but I think people just like to have something to listen to. You know, I think it's never mattered what I'm talking about. It just matters that I'm the one who's talking. That's been a thing that I've come to think. But yeah. So I've been playing a lot of Bayonetta. is the general story here. What was I talking about though? I completely forgot. I'm starting to lose it actually. I don't know. I just did the stream and shit. I was talking about Bayonetta and the attacking things. But no, I was saying, you know, I'm still attacking them normally. I'm just using a skill that's not intended. I said that already. There was something I was talking about after that. I don't know. It's a hard game. Oh, no, 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 no. So my plan for Halos, because I mentioned this yesterday, that grinding Halos takes a long time. I did reach 1,000,000, and I realized because I beat the game, because when I beat the game on normal, not on normal, when I beat it on easy after I got 1,000,000 Halos, because that was how I did it the first time. I was like, all right, let's just go through the game on easy. That's how I got the Immortal Marionette or something like that. Immortal Testimony. I think it's Immortal Testimony. I got that item because I beat the entire game on easy. And when I did that, it gave me a prompt to save, and I saved it. And when I saved it, I still had 1,000,000, so I was able to go back to that save and buy the correct item. And I got Pillow Talk instead of bazillions. So I got the laser sword instead of the laser gun because I like using swords more than guns. Bazillions are great. I will still buy them in the future, but I am very much enjoying using Pillow Talk instead. So that's what I have. But my plan for grinding more Halos is to get up to 3,000,000, because when I get up to 3,000,000, I can buy the Bracelet of Time or something, which allows you to force witch time whenever you want. And this is great because there's one section where if you hold witch time against this boss thing, because you don't kill the boss, you just fight the boss. So what you're doing is you're holding witch time and you're just attacking it. And if you can keep it in witch time, you can keep it there, you can keep it alive, because the only way to kill the boss, or the only way it ends, is when it does this action sequence thing, but it's on a timer kind of thing where it needs to get to this spot in order to actually start the action sequence. So it remains alive, and it remains in such a state that you're hitting it gives you combo points if you can slow down time long enough. And if you can force time to be slowed down with magic, you're expending magic, but I'm saving up on shit or whatever. So I can force it there, and I can use the Kilgore exploit or whatever to get all the missiles and things to really unload on this guy while he's completely defenseless, while time is frozen, and get like super max combo points and go absolutely insane. And what that'll do is that will give me a few million every time that I do it, if I do it correctly. And that's good, because if I can get the item that costs 3,000,000, then I can do that method, and then I can get 4 or 5,000,000, and then another 4 or 5,000,000. I really just need, because I need an item that costs 5,000,000 in order to do the method that can get me like 60,000,000 in one go, you know? So I do the thing that costs me 3,000,000 in order to get the item, or I get the item that costs me 3,000,000 in order to do the thing that has the chance of getting me 5,000,000. Even if it gets me 4,000,000, I've only done it once, and it's not a very long thing. So I just jump in and I do it again, and then I can get the item that can help me get the other things even faster. And that is my plan, and that'll happen at some point eventually. But yeah, for now, I do realize I just entered chance time, but oops. This is a video thing, and I don't want it to get too long, you know? If I was streaming, then it wouldn't matter. Yep. Take care of yourself.